So today you're going to see how to make one of the easiest loaves of bread on this planet. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to make a nice and easy, no-knead artisan bread. Really straightforward, it requires very little prep time and effort to make this bread, and good news is that you more than likely already have the ingredients in your house as it stands. So with all that being said, let's make this, shall we? Okay, so to make this bread, it's really straightforward. In a large bowl, combine together 400 grams of strong white bread flour, 10 grams of table salt equaling to about 2 teaspoons, and 1 gram of fast active yeast. Give it a rough mix, then pour in 300 milliliters of water. Doesn't matter if it's warm or cold. Then give it a mix to make sure the flour is nicely hydrated, about 30 seconds or so. There's no need to mix the dough much longer than that. All you're doing here is hydrating the flour, and that's all you need. Then cover it with some cling film and let it brew at room temperature for 24 hours. By the way, make sure your room temperature is not too hot. You want it to be around 20 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, it may overproof. Now 24 hours later, magic, your dough should have at least doubled in size. Just have a look at that. Now you're going to lightly dust the top with some flour. And guys, look at that gluten development. That's going to give the bread a wonderful structure at the end. Now lightly dust your bench with some flour to make sure the dough doesn't stick. Then carefully release the dough from your bowl. Try your best to keep all the air inside the dough, because that's what's going to give the nice air pockets. Now we're going to shape the dough. Grab the left hand side of the dough, as you can see. Stretch it, gently bring it towards the center and repeat for the other side. Then grab the sides of the dough and flip it over. Like I said before, try to be gentle and not knock any air out of it. Then simply just grab the front and back of the dough and just fold it over itself a few times, like so. Now we're going to prove the dough for a second time. You will need one of these. It's a circular banneton. If you want an oval shaped loaf, obviously use an oval banneton. But if you don't have any of those, just get an ordinary bowl, line it with a tea towel, and then heavily flour that tea towel. But if you do have a banneton, you don't need to line it with anything, you just need to heavily flour it to make sure it doesn't stick. Then carefully place the dough into your flour banneton and lightly dust the top of the dough with some flour, and then finally lightly cover it with some cling film to stop the dough from drying out, and let it brew at room temperature for 2 hours. In the meantime, preheat your oven to 250 degrees Celsius with a pizza stone placed in the middle rack of your oven. In other words, preheat your oven to the hottest it can actually go up to. So now once the dough has doubled in size, lightly dust the top of the dough with some flour, then carefully ease it away from your banneton to make sure the dough hasn't stuck to the banneton, because that would be a disaster. Then you're going to lightly dust a pizza peel with some flour. If you do not have a pizza peel at your disposal, just flip a roasting tray upside down and just dust it with some flour, exactly the same as this. Or you can just make it life a whole lot easier and click the link down below in the description. And just mold the bread on top of your flour pizza peel and slide it on top of your hot pizza stone. Then place a pan of boiling water in the bottom of your oven to create some steam and bake for 20 minutes. And then remove the pan from the oven to release all the steam. Then simply just turn the bread round so that it bakes nice and evenly, and then you're going to close the oven door and bake for additional 10 minutes until nice and golden brown and a nice crust is formed. And then that's it. Simply just slide the bread on a wire rack to allow it to cool down for about half an hour to an hour. Guys, this is where people go wrong. They always slice the bread immediately. You've got to let the dough rest at least half an hour so you can allow the crumb to fully develop, because if you don't, the dough will be really stodgy in the center. I know it's tempting, but trust me, it's worth waiting that little bit extra. But once it's rested, slice away. Serve it with whatever you like. When it comes down to homemade bread, I like just to spread some nice butter on it. If you want to be even fancier, make your own homemade butter. It's up to you. The link for my video is down in the description below, or it's going to be up top right. And that's it. Homemade, no-knead artisan bread at its finest. Alright guys, that is it. That's how you make a nice and easy no-knead artisan. Really straightforward. This bread is brilliant for sandwiches, by the way. It's just got a wonderful structure to it. It's got a nice crunch on the outside. It's delicious. Really, really, really good. It competes up there with a delicious sourdough bread. Trust me, the flavour that this bread develops is amazing. So with all that being said, if you enjoyed today's video or you learned something, please like and subscribe, and please don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss another video. And I'll see you guys next time.